Guys, what's up? So we have already watched AIPMT and PMT's aims 1.1 and 1.2 video where I give the general sense on how to approach the exams. It was followed by reproduction, introduction 1.1 and 1.2. Please watch all those four videos before coming here. And if you have watched all those four videos, congratulations, you are now in a better position to eliminate your competition. So this is the YouTube channel An Academy Medical. Now we will deal about anatomy and physiology of human reproductive system. This is presented by me. So after reproduction you will be having lots of doubts, and still if you are having facing any doubt, you can ask on this Facebook page below the video, that is facebook.com/romansani.official, on the YouTube video or on the Facebook page. Please spread the word, especially for those who cannot afford heavy coaching. Now the sequence is very critical. We have already talked about in previous videos, but here we go again. Gametogenesis means gamete plus genesis, that is formation of sperm and ovum. No problem, बिल्कुल सिंपल सा है. Second step is insemination. It can be of two types. एक तो होता है natural insemination, which happens with the help of an erect penis into the female genital tract. That is transfer of sperm after ejaculation. Otherwise, it can be artificial insemination also, where with the help of artificial things, especially done in case of uh, as a conjunct to in vitro fertilization, or in case of breeding in animals, it is done. Then third step is fertilization, that is fusion of male and female gametes. We have talked about it a lot. Fourth is formation of zygote. Fifth is implantation. तो इसमें इम्प्लांटेशन में क्या होता है, जो एम्पुला होता है, एम्पुला रीजन ऑफ ओविडक्ट और फेलोपियन ट्यूब, वेयर द फर्टिलाइजेशन टेक्स प्लेस, उसमें फॉर्मेशन, देन देर इज डेवलपमेंट ऑफ ब्लास्टोसिस्ट, एंड फाइनली इट्स अटैचमेंट टू द यूट्राइन वॉल. It is followed by gestation, that is the embryonic development, and finally it is followed by parturition, that is birth of the baby, as well as delivery of placenta. So both the placenta as well as the baby, it can be of either natural delivery, where the delivery happens from vagina, and either it can be a cesarean section or C section. Now the male reproductive system, very basic. It is located in the pelvis region. What is pelvis? There is pelvic bone, which is also called as hip bone. So उसके तीन पार्ट होते हैं, सबको पता है, पढ़ लेना, प्यूबिस ischium और ilium. Then the primary sex organ is the testes, which is located extra abdominally in case of males, but the primary sex organ is abdominally located in case of females. Secondary sex organs are the supporting structure like scrotum and penis, and there is sperm conducting ducts, also called as vasa deferentia, some called as vas deferens. Then we have accessory reproductive glands like seminal vesicles, which secretes 60% of the total secretions. Then there is prostate gland, and there is bulbourethral glands, also called as, we'll see, Copper's gland. Anyway, so ऐसे आ जाओ, टी एस काट रखा है. दिस इज फ्रॉम टी एस. वॉट डू मीन बाई टी एस? सो the person is looking, this is the front end, this is the rear end, obviously, also called as ventral, also called as dorsal. So this is the backbone, as you can see. ये vertebra है, ये sigmoid colon है, this is the rectum, and this structure is bladder. Bladder में से जो निकल के आएगी, that is urethra, and this is the penis, this is structure, and this is the foreskin. So basically एक होता है corpus spongiosum, एक होता है corpus cavernosum. So we'll talk about it later. This is the pubic bone, this is testes, this structure is epididymis, this is the outer skin is the sac or scrotum, this is the vas deferens which carries sperm and all the way it leads to the ejaculation. This big gland is the seminal vesicle which adds to the bulk of the sperms and semen. This is the ejaculatory duct which is formed by the prostate gland as well as the seminal vesicle, and this is the Copper's gland, and this is the anal opening. So this was more or less about the male reproductive system. Please internalize this diagram, it's very important. Now testes, if I write TESTIS, it means singular. It's also called as testicles. The testes is plural, that is two of them. So first is the extra abdominal testes, which is in human male adult. So in fetal stage, what happens is testes are located in the abdominal cavity, and it descend in scrotum through inguinal canal, which happens in the 7th fetal month under regulation of testosterone. Is that absolutely understood? Now what is the significance of this? Significance is that scrotum will help in maintaining 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius temperature. This is very critical. This 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius temperature is very critical, and it is lower than the normal body temperature, which is optimum for spermatogenesis. and in adult testes are pinkish and oval in shape which are 4 to 5 centimeter in length and 2 to 3 centimeter in width. कोई बड़ी भारी बात नहीं है, बस ये याद रख लेना एब्डोमिनल रिंग्स होती हैं, एब्डोमिनल रिंग्स, इंटरनल इनग्वाइनल रिंग, एक्सटर्नल इनग्वाइनल रिंग. सो इसके थ्रू टेस्टिस इज पुल्ड बाय अ टिश्यू कॉल्ड एज गुबरनैकुलम. उससे वो पुल करता करता फाइनली इट इज लोकेटेड इन द टेस्टिस दैट इज द स्क्रोटल सैक and it is surrounded by tunica vaginalis which is the layer of the covering which it acquires as it moves along. So ये होता है 7th मंथ में. तो 7th मंथ से पहले एब्डोमिनल होती है, उसके बाद एक्स्ट्रा एब्डोमिनल हो जाती है. एंड टेम्परेचर इज 2 to 2.5 डिग्री सेल्सियस लेस इन स्क्रोटम सैक which is helpful in spermatogenesis. Now you can see here this is the scrotum. So this region is called as the inguinal canal. And finally the outer layer is called as spermatic cord. This is called as epididymis. This is testis. And finally scrotal skin has two muscles. One is called as dartus, other is called as cremaster. This is the TS, that is the transverse section of penis. So this layer is called as tunica albuginea. There are some blood vessels. This is the urethra in penile urethra. And finally this tissue or this tissue is called as gubernaculum. And this is the thick connective tissue which is called as raphe or raphe. Finally covering of testis, as I've already told you, there are three coverings. First is the tunica vaginalis. ये वो होती है जो सारी muscles. Now if you go and read in MBBS you will realize there is external oblique muscle, internal oblique muscle, transversus abdominis. इन तीनों की एक एक layer आती है that forms tunica vaginalis. This is the outermost layer and it is a double layered partial covering. And between two layers fluid is present which acts as a shock absorber. This is very very critical, otherwise testis might get damaged. Then the second layer is called as tunica albuginea, which is a complete connective tissue layer. This is extremely important because it contains extensions. ऐसे ऐसे extension निकले रहते हैं. They are called as testicular septa. Now testicular septa में क्या होता है, 250 कंपार्टमेंट होता है. Each testicular septa जो होता है total 250 कंपार्टमेंट्स होते हैं. They are also called as testicular lobules. Now each lobule, this is very very important, I cannot emphasize on more, इसको रट लो अच्छी तरह. Each lobule contains 1 to 3 seminiferous tubules, okay, Leydig cells and immunologically competent cells. ये तीनों ऐसे कैसे वर्ड याद कर लेना, 1 to 3 seminiferous tubules, Leydig cells and immunologically competent cells. Finally it is followed by tunica vasculosa, which is the innermost layer and it lines testicular lobules. Is that absolutely understood? So पहले वेजाइनलिस है, फिर एल्बुजिनिया, फिर वेस्कुलोसा. तो फिर देन वी मूव ऑन टू सेमिनिफेरस टिब्यूल्स विच आर द फंक्शनल यूनिट ऑफ टेस्टिस. एक होती है स्ट्रक्चरल यूनिट, एक होती है फंक्शनल यूनिट. पूरी बायोलॉजी में ऐसे ही चलता है. रेयरली बोथ कोइंसाइड, स्पेशली द एग्जांपल इज सीन इन केस ऑफ किडनी वेयर नेफ्रॉन इज बोथ द स्ट्रक्चरल एंड फंक्शनल यूनिट ऑफ किडनी. एनीवे विल मूव फॉरवर्ड. तो इट इज लाइंड ऑन टू टाइप्स ऑफ सेल्स. सेमिनिफेरस टिब्यूल में दो तरह के सेल्स होते हैं लाइनिंग में. वन इज द रिप्रोडक्टिव सेल्स which helps in reproduction or gametes. Example include male germ cell like spermatogonia. तो प्राइमरी स्पर्मेटोसाइट बनाएगा, फिर मियोसिस होगी प्राइमरी स्पर्मेटोसाइट में, वो सेकेंडरी स्पर्मेटोसाइट बनाएगा अंडर वो मियोटिक डिवीजन. फिर सर्टोली सेल्स होते हैं, दे आर ऑल्सो कॉल्ड सस्टेंटिकुलर सेल्स और सपोर्टिंग सेल्स. फाइनली जो सेमिनिफेरस टिब्यूल्स के आउटसाइड का जो रीजन है दैट कंटेन्स स्मॉल ब्लड वेसल्स एंड वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट सेल्स ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज इंटरस्टिशियल सेल्स और लेडिक सेल्स. This under the influence of LH, that is luteinizing hormone, also called as interstitial cells stimulating hormone. उसके influence में it releases androgens, especially testosterone. Both synthesis as well as release happens here. Now sectional view of seminiferous tubule. इसको देख लो अच्छे से, अभी क्या समझाया था. So these are the spermatogonia. They are primary spermatocyte. Then there will be secondary spermatocyte which will be forming what? So finally sperm or spermatids. Okay. This is the interstitial tissue which is in between somewhere. They are the lymph vessels etc. ये जो बड़े बड़े सेल दिख रहे हैं ना बीच में, these big big cells, can you see this one? This is an example of a Sertoli cell, also called as sustenticular cells. And finally जो seminiferous tubules के outside हैं, they are called as Leydig cells or interstitial cells. Is that absolutely understood? And in between we have lumen or the empty space, not literally empty but not having much cells. Now what are the functions of Sertoli cells? Extremely important. So brain में बहुत सारे बैरियर होते हैं, जैसे ब्लड ब्रेन बैरियर होता है बॉडी में, वैसे ही टेस्टिस में भी एक बैरियर होता है, टेस्टिस ब्लड बैरियर. इसमें क्या होता है, इट आइसोलेट स्पर्मेटोजेनिक सेल फ्रॉम ब्लड कॉन्टैक्ट. क्या होता है, फीमेल्स में इतनी प्रॉब्लम नहीं होती क्योंकि दे हैव oogonia फॉर्म्ड वेल इन एम्ब्रियोलॉजी. जितने भी मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल में एग रिलीज होंगे दे आर ऑलरेडी फॉर्म्ड इन अ फीमेल फीटस, लेकिन मेल्स में ऐसा नहीं होता। मेल्स में प्यूबर्टी से पहले देयर इज एब्सोल्युटली नो स्पर्म्स, बट प्यूबर्टी के बाद ही आते हैं। सो दे आर इम्यूनोलॉजिकली एक्टिव। अगर वो ब्लड के कांटेक्ट में आ गए तो फिर इम्यूनोजेनिक रिएक्शन हो जाएगी और फिर दिक्कत हो जाएगी। सो उसके लिए टेस्टिस ब्लड बैरियर होता है। सेकेंड, इट इज फॉर्मेशन, नर्स सेल बनते हैं, दे एक्ट एज नर्स सेल। हाउ? बिकॉज दे प्रोवाइड न्यूट्रिशन टू द ग्रोइंग स्पर्मेटोजेनिक सेल, दे आर डिवाइडिंग एंड दे आर ग्रोइंग, सो दे नीड लॉट ऑफ सपोर्ट एंड न्यूट्रिशन। जो एक्सेस साइटोप्लाज्म होता है दैट इज ऑल्सो फैगोसाइटाइज्ड बाय देम, तो उसकी साइज छोटी रहती है स्पर्म की। फाइनली स्पर्मिएशन इज अ वेरी वेरी क्रिटिकल फंक्शन। इसमें क्या होता है, जो स्पर्म हेड होता है दैट इज एम्बेडेड इन द सर्टोली सेल्स। जैसे ये सर्टोली सेल है तो स्पर्म सेल इज समथिंग लाइक दिस। ओके, क्या होता है, जो ल्यूमन होता है ना सेमिनिफेरस ट्यूब्यूल का, दैट नाउ दिस स्पर्मिएशन हेल्प्स इन द मूवमेंट ऑफ स्पर्म। इज दैट एब्सोल्युटली अंडरस्टूड? एंड इनटू इंट्राटेस्टिकुलर स्पर्म कंडक्टिंग डक्ट आफ्टर स्पर्मियोजेनेसिस। तो टेस्टिस से लेकर के और जो डक्ट से मूवमेंट होता है दैट हेल्प्स, दैट हैपन्स बिकॉज ऑफ स्पर्मिएशन। बिकॉज जो ये हेड होगा रिलीज हो जाएगा, रिलीज होगा तो ल्यूमन की तरफ भागेगा। इज दैट अंडरस्टूड? दिस इज अ प्रोसेस ऑफ स्पर्मिएशन। एंड फाइनली इन फीटल स्टेज दिस इज द फिफ्थ फंक्शन, देयर इज अ सीक्रेशन ऑफ एंटी मुलेरियन फैक्टर। मुलेरियन फैक्टर क्या करता है? इट हेल्प्स इन द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव ट्रैक्ट, ओविडक्ट, फेलोपियन ट्यूब्स, ओवरी, यूट्रस, cervix, vagina, etc., etc. It is inhibited by anti-Mullerian factor in males, in fetus. Now we have scrotum, which is an extra abdominal pouch. 50 बार बता चुका हूँ. It is divided into two testicular sac by scrotal septa. Obviously there are two testes, so there has to be two testicular sac, and each sac contains one testis. Can you see? E is plural, I is singular. So inner margin of scrotum, अब जो testis है that is attached to scrotum, obviously it is by a cord of connective tissue. This is called as gubernaculum. अब पूरे MBBS में या पूरी बायोलॉजी में जब भी मीस टर्म आ जाए, इट मीन्स some connective tissue connecting an organ in abdomen or extra abdomen. Example, mesoovarium connects ovary to something. Mesorchium contains testis to something. Mesentery contains, entry means intestine to something, especially small intestine. Mesocolon, is that understood? So these terms come and go. Lots of them will come. Finally, there is dartus muscle, which forms the scrotal wall as well as the scrotal septa. And contraction of this muscle क्या होगा? टाइटन हो जाएगी. तो स्क्रोटल स्किन टाइट हो गई तो फोल्ड जो हो जाएगा कम हो जाएगा, प्लस द टेस्टिस विल बी टेकन टुवर्ड्स द बॉडी, सो इट विल हेल्प इन प्रिवेंशन ऑफ हीट लॉस. Within scrotum, this is again, there is a sperm conducting duct also called as vas deferens. There is blood vessels obviously to support, they are also called as pampiniform plexus. इसमें क्या होता है? टेस्टिकुलर आर्टरी, टेस्टिकुलर वेन, नर्व, लिम्फेटिक्स, पैम्पिनीफॉर्म प्लेक्सस. वैसे इतना डिटेल में पूछेंगे नहीं, फिर भी बता देता हूँ, कोई एंथुजियास्टिक हो तो पढ़ लेना. दे आर ऑल कंटेन्ड विद इन समथिंग कॉल्ड एज स्पर्मेटिक कॉर्ड. बहुत मोटी सी होती है, यू कैन फील इट. नाउ स्पर्मेटिक कॉर्ड इज फॉर्म्ड ऑफ कनेक्टिव टिश्यू एंड क्रिमेस्टर मसल. इज दैट अंडरस्टूड? Now contraction of cremaster muscle is also called as inner thigh reflex. When you tap inside the inner thigh of a patient, his testes will go up towards the body. So that is a example, or that is a test of knowing that his cremasteric reflex is still present. Now position of testis in scrotum is regulated by obviously contraction in cremaster and dartus muscle. बता ही दिया. Contraction कब होता है? Either during sexual excitement or when there is low temperature in environment to prevent the heat loss. Now we have penis, which is the supporting reproductive structure in males. It is the external genitalia. It is the muscular organ. There is no bone in it. It is a copulatory organ and it houses penile urethra. Now shaft जो होता है penis का, this is the shaft of penis. It contains 3 cylinder of erectile tissue. एक तो पेयर होगा और एक अकेला होगा, अगर 3 है तो. Paired is the corpora cavernosa and it forms the dorsolateral part of the penis, while the middle ventral part of the penis is formed by corpus spongiosum. जब भी अम आ जाए ना, अम means singular और आ means plural. Penile urethra is located in corpus spongiosum. Cavernosum का मतलब हो जाएगा singular, cavernosa का मतलब हो जाएगा plural, और corpora का मतलब हो जाएगा plural, corpus का मतलब हो जाएगा singular. डेटा का मतलब हो जाएगा प्लूरल, डेटम का मतलब हो जाएगा सिंगुलर. आर यू गेटिंग द पॉइंट नाउ? The tips of penis is called as glans penis. So this is something called as glans penis, and it is formed by only by corpus spongiosum. It is very very important. सिर्फ और सिर्फ कॉर्पस स्पॉन्जियोसम होता है, इधर दोनों मिलेंगे, कॉर्पस स्पॉन्जियोसम भी मिलेगा और कॉर्पस कैवर्नोसा भी मिलेगा. Now, loose retractile fold of skin which is present over glans penis, something like this. This is called as prepuce or foreskin. Now, this is the structure which is removed in case of circumcision. So, can you see this structure? This is called as the glans penis. It is the ventral position. This is the correct anatomical position. This is the cremasteric fascia. Fascia का मतलब होता है the structure which surrounds the muscles which is present just below skin. This is the fascia of penis. Now this structure is entire thick is called as spermatic cord which is coming out of external abdominal ring. इतनी भारी चीज़ है, पढ़ने की ज़रूरत नहीं है आपको प्री मेडिकल के लिए, बट स्टिल दिस इज कॉल्ड एज अ पेम्पिनिफॉर्म प्लेक्सस. जैसे मैंने बताया था, इसमें वेन है, आर्टरी है, नर्व है. नाउ एपिडिडाइमिस हेड है, ये वाला बता ही दिया था. दिस इज द एंटायर टेस्टिस. दिस इज ट्यूनिका वेजाइनलिस, इसकी दो लेयर होती हैं, प्रोपरिया और कम्युनिस. This is the cremasteric fascia. Fascia means external hard connective tissue structure. This is the dartus muscle, and finally this is the scrotal septum. Now moving forward, this is the TS of a shaft of penis. अब इसमें देख लो, जो corpus spongiosum होता है, इसके दो फीचर हो गए. This is the only structure which is present in glans penis. उसमें दूसरा नहीं होता, corpus cavernosa. और penile urethra is also present in corpus spongiosum. So this is the penile urethra and they are the corpora cavernosa. ये होते हैं आपके लैटरल और डॉर्सल रीजन में, ये होता है आपका मिडिल और वेंट्रल रीजन में. दिस इज द ट्यूनिका एल्बुजिनिया. नाउ द बेस ऑफ द ग्लैंड्स पीनिस बताया था, इज कॉल्ड एज कोरोना, एंड नियर कोरोना वी हैव द प्रिपीशियल ग्लैंड और टाइसन ग्लैंड. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. वाई? बिकॉज दे आर द मॉडिफाइड सेबेशियस ग्लैंड. बॉडी में रेयर होते हैं, 4-5 जगह होते हैं, वो सारे बता दूंगा. दिस सीक्रेट्स वैक्सी सीक्रेशन कॉल्ड एज स्मैग्मा. Smegma helps in the gliding of foreskin at the tip of the penis. It acts as a smoothing agent. Now, presence of smegma makes penis prone to fungal infection. This is also true. Circumcision is the surgical removal of foreskin or prepuce. There is a myth associated with it, is it prevents the occurrence of STDs, but it is not so. Circumcision is done in young child in case of Muslims and Jews. These two religions do circumcision, but it is also done in adulthood also, it can be done. Erection of penis is caused by parasympathetic stimulation, not sympathetic, parasympathetic stimulation, and it helps in facilitation of insemination. Obviously, stimulation releases nitric oxide, which is, it acts as a vasodilator, very very potent vasodilator. अगर किसी को हार्ट अटैक भी आता है तो फर्स्ट थिंग विच गिव्स इज समथिंग कॉल्ड एज a derivative which releases nitric oxide and helps in vasodilation. पढ़ोगे बाद में जाके आप. They are called the nitroglycerines compounds. It helps in release of blood supply in penis and it finally leads to erection. Now this is the last thing which we'll be dealing with, second last rather, sperm conducting duct. So it starts with the tubular acti in the lumen. It forms rete testis, thick structure. Then it forms vasa efferentia, goes through epididymis. इसके भी 3 पोर्शन होते हैं, विल डील नाउ. देन वास डेफरेंस, दिस इज द थिक कॉर्ड, कंडक्टिंग कॉर्ड. देन देर इज एम्पुला ऑफ वास डेफरेंस. फाइनली इजैक्यूलेटरी डक्ट आफ्टर कंबाइनिंग विद सेमाइनल वेसिकल, then goes through urethra and finally it passes through external urethral meatus. So you can see this is a very comprehensive diagram. So as you can see, this is the external urethral meatus, ulta chalte hain, and this is the seminal vesicle, big glands. This is obviously ureter, urinary bladder, they are not important. So when seminal vessel comes, it is called as ejaculatory duct along with vas deferens. This is the ampulla of vas deferens where it is stored just before ejaculation. This is the membranous urethra and these are the penile or spongy urethra. This is the corpora spongiosum which is located in mid-ventral position. This is the Tyson gland, also called as prepucial gland. This is the foreskin or prepuce. This is the corona or the base of glans penis, and this is the bulbourethral gland or Cowper's gland. Now this is called as the prostatic urethra, which is present in the prostate gland. So this was the total male reproductive system where the passage goes. Now the final thing for today is epididymis. It is located along the posterior, that is the dorsal surface of each testis. It develops from Wolffian duct of mesonephron. They are all embryonic structures. You might remember them or you can also forget them. Not very, very important, but just remember these names. They are lined by stereocilia for motility of sperms. Sperm attain functional maturity. This is functional is very, very keywords. Spermatogenesis, by the way, in human takes 74 days. They are stored temporarily here. There are three parts. Upper is caput. Caput means head. It is a Greek word. Middle means corpus, that is body, and the basal means tail, that is cauda. So these are the three parts of epididymis. So I hope you like the video. So if you want me to continue this reproduction section, let me know. Or if you want me to make on any other video, you can also tell me that. Where you will tell me that. Either you can tweet to me at my Twitter handle at romanseni, or you can post it on the Facebook page.com romanseni.official. Please spread the word of this free education system which is happening here and help those who cannot afford coaching. This is the YouTube channel Unacademy Medical. Thank you for watching the video. Have an awesome day.